All right, welcome into what is shaping up to be a massive night of UEFA Champions League football. We've got giants clashing, fortresses getting tested, and a few underdogs just waiting to cause some chaos. So to help you make sense of it all, we've put together the ultimate guide. Let's get right into the Wednesday blueprint.
So there are count 'em, 9 huge matches on the slate tonight. But this isn't going to be just some boring list of games. No. We're giving you the blueprint, we're talking the big stories, the key battles, and of course, the predicted scores to get you totally prepped for kickoff. So instead of just running down a list, we're going to break down tonight's action through a few key themes. Think of it like this. We've got intense stalemates, we've got the power of home field advantage, and we've even got one team that's predicted to go on the road and completely spoil the party. Okay, let's dive into our first big story of the night. The stalemates. The predictions are pointing to 3 absolutely massive games where the teams are just so evenly matched that they're expected to completely cancel each other out. These are going to be tense. First up, we're heading to that absolute cauldron of noise in Istanbul. It's Galatasaray taking on Atletico Madrid, and the blueprint is calling for a gritty 1-1 draw. I mean, this is a classic European clash, right? You've got the insane passion of the home crowd versus the sheer defensive will of a top-tier side. And this quote just nails the dynamic, doesn't it? That atmosphere in Istanbul can swallow teams whole. It's just electric. But Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid isn't most teams. They actually thrive in that kind of hostile environment. It really is the irresistible force meeting the immovable object, which is exactly why a draw feels so likely. Okay, next up, we've got a really interesting one. Eintracht Frankfurt has to make that incredibly long trip to Azerbaijan to play Qarabag. And again, the prediction here is a 1-1 draw. This is exactly the kind of treacherous away match that can trip up even very good teams. And the reasoning here is pretty straightforward. You just don't go to Azerbaijan and expect to walk away with an easy win. Qarabag are absolute fighters on their home turf. Now, Frankfurt for sure has the attacking talent to grab a goal, but we've seen them be a bit shaky on the road. It feels like those two things are just going to balance each other out perfectly. And our final predicted stalemate is a proper heavyweight bout at the Stade Vélodrome. It's Marseille versus Liverpool. And yep, you guessed it, the blueprint is pointing to another 1-1. This one has all the makings of a classic, high-octane European night. I mean, you can't ignore it. Marseille is on fire in the league, and you know the Velodrome is going to be absolutely rocking. On the other side, we all know Liverpool. For all their brilliance, they have this little habit of making these big European away nights way tougher than they need to be. It's just set up for an intense battle where nobody gives an inch. All right, so from the teams that are expected to cancel each other out, let's pivot to our next big theme, the sheer power of the home fortress. We've got 5 teams who are predicted to use their home ground and their home crowd to grab a crucial victory tonight. Let's start in Turin, where Juventus is predicted to do what Juventus does best, grind out a tough 2-1 win against Benfica. This is such a classic Juve prediction. They are just masters of being organized and clinical at home. And while Benfica definitely has talent, they can be a bit fragile defensively on their travels. Expect Juve to be pragmatic and just get the job done. Sticking in Italy, we have what should be a fantastic game to watch. Atalanta is tipped to just get past Athletic Bilbao, 2-1. Atalanta is famous for that wild, all-out attacking style, especially at home. Bilbao will absolutely bring the fight. They're physical, they're dangerous, but the thinking is Atalanta's relentless attack will just have enough to push them over the line. All right, next up, the blueprint is calling for a more comfortable home win. We're talking Newcastle getting a 2-0 victory over PSV. I mean, St. James Park has become an absolute fortress, and in front of that roaring crowd, they are just so hard to break down. This one feels like a controlled, professional win for the Magpies. Now let's head over to Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea is expected to handle business with a 3-1 win against Pafos. And look, you have to give a ton of credit to Pafos. What a fairy tale story to even be here. But let's be honest, this is a whole different universe in terms of class. The Blues should control this one, but don't be surprised if Pafos nicks a goal to remember the night by. And finally, the biggest home win predicted for tonight. Yeah, Bayern Munich is expected to be absolutely ruthless in a 4-1 thrashing of Union Saint-Gilloise. When their stars are on form at the Allianz Arena, they are just a runaway train. It feels like Bayern is ready to make a big statement tonight. So we've covered the deadlocks. We've covered the home field dominance. But the blueprint is telling us that there is one team, and only one team, that is going to go on the road tonight and completely rip up that script.
And that one team is Barcelona. They are the only side predicted to win away from home tonight, with a super tough 2-1 victory in Prague. Now, it's not going to be a walk in the park. Slavia Prague will make it difficult. They'll press like crazy. But the prediction is that Barcelona's superior quality, those moments of magic from their stars, will be the difference in the end. Okay, we've gone through all the big stories shaping the night, so now let's put it all together. Here is the final blueprint, your complete rundown for every single match happening tonight. And here you have it, the whole shebang. You've got your 3 tight draws, your 5 home victories, from the nail-biters to the blowouts, and that one single lonely away win for Barcelona. This is your cheat sheet for the entire night. So, there you go. The blueprint is set. The predictions are locked in. But you and I both know the best thing about the Champions League is that it loves to tear up the script. The question is, which one of these games is going to go completely sideways? Which underdog is about to make headlines? Enjoy the matches.